If you've been charged with a sex crime, you're probably wondering what happens next. Oftentimes, at this point, when you call the office, you've already been arrested. If the crime involves a crime against a child living in your home, you've probably been removed from the home. If it involves a child outside the home, that child has been brought either way to the CAC, which is the Child Advocacy Center, and a statement from the child is being taken. Law enforcement is doing its investigation. Life around you is probably crumbling in the sense that you've been accused of one of the most serious things you can be accused of, whether it's a sex offense involving a child or sex offense involving another adult, whether this is a person that you know or someone you just met online. It is a life-altering charge. And people who've been charged with this crime oftentimes haven't even committed it. Whether it involves a child or an adult, there are lots of reasons why false accusations are levied against people. But what will happen next is important, and that is you've got to make a determination on who to retain to represent you. You cannot go through this alone. You cannot sit there and have an agreed upon interview with law enforcement without an attorney present. They're doing their investigation. You need to be doing your investigation with your legal team. When that investigation is complete, the district attorney's office will charge you with whatever that sex crime is. They will indict you before a grand jury, and then you will answer to those charges in criminal court. Depending on the length of time that's passed, you've utilized that to your advantage because you got us involved early, or you've squandered that time and you are behind the eight ball. But the next things that happen, some are within your control, some are outside of your control. But if you're going to have a chance to avoid this going all the way to indictment, doing your own through legal counsel, preliminary pre-charge investigation is important. And there are a number of steps in that we can discuss. I can't tell you how many times I've heard someone say, how can they charge me with a crime? It's he said, she said. Yes, somebody's statement is, to a degree, evidence. Someone accuses you of a crime that you didn't commit, you can still be charged with a crime. Their word alone is enough to begin the investigation process. And of course, they're going to be looking for confirmation that the crime was committed. Maybe you make some admissions to law enforcement that you didn't think were that damaging, only to find out later when you sit down with us that it is very damaging because you waived your right against self-incrimination, your Fifth Amendment privilege. Perhaps there's more than just her word. There are text messages between the two of you that would give more validity to what she is saying, more credence, makes it more believable. Some of these things may be taken out of context, but yes, an allegation alone is enough to support a criminal charge. Most sex crimes are felonies. One in particular, unlawful sexual touching, is a misdemeanor. And what distinguishes it from the felonies is gross sexual assault, for example, usually involves a sexual act. Unlawful sexual contact is something short of a sexual act. I don't want to get into the graphic details, but it's still a felony. Unlawful sexual touching could be as little as grabbing the waitress's behind when she passes by you. That's unlawful sexual touching. Not only is it offensive, it's also an assault. That would be an example of a misdemeanor sex crime. But the vast majority of sex crimes are, in fact, felony in nature. By the time we get involved, sadly, people have already given statements to law enforcement. Why does someone want to speak with a police officer? Because they're scared. Because they know they didn't do it. I didn't commit the crime. I want to tell you my side of the story, officer. That seems like a real natural thing to do. Here's the problem. That detective or police officer is investigating an allegation of a crime. They're looking to collect information to support the theory that you may have committed this crime. They're generally not sitting you down to have an interview for the purpose of exonerating you of these allegations. They're trying to build a case. So the worst thing you can do is to sit down with the police and give an interview. Waive your Fifth Amendment privilege against self-incrimination. The best advice I can give anyone when they're faced with something like this is to shut the hell up. Lawyer up. Get the right legal team involved. Have them defend you. Don't try and defend yourself by giving a statement. You're going to take a bad situation and probably make it significantly worse. If you've been charged with a sex offense crime, and you find yourself in this type of a situation, don't try and go this alone. Give us a call now. Call an experienced legal team here at the Maine Criminal Defense Group. We're ready to roll when you are.